I need to tell you something that might be controversial. I used to work on Upwork, built dozens of projects there, had great reviews, made good amount of money. And then I left. Not because I wanted to, but because I realized something about how the platform works that most clients don't understand. And if you are thinking about hiring someone on Upwork, you need to hear this. Let me be clear upfront. I am not saying everyone on Upwork is bad. I am not saying you can't find good developers there. What I am saying is that the platform is designed in a way that makes it really hard to get quality work. And it's not just bad for clients, it's terrible for freelancers too. I spent 2 years on Upwork. I saw how it works from both sides. I saw what clients don't see. I saw how freelancers got squeezed. I saw why good developers leave and who stays behind. And when I finally understood the system, I realized I couldn't keep working there if I wanted to do my best work. Here's how Upwork works from a developer's perspective. You post a job. Let's say you want a mobile app built. You have got a budget. Let's say $5,000 to $10,000. Within an hour, you will get 40 to 50 proposals, maybe more. But here's what you don't see. Those proposals aren't all from qualified developers carefully considering your project. Most of them are from people who bid on everything, hoping something sticks. And the price war is absolutely brutal. Someone bids $15 an hour, another person bids 12, then 10, then 8, then 5. I have seen developers bid $5 an hour for complex development work. Yes, $5. And you, as the client, you are thinking, great competition, I'll get the best price. But what's actually happening is that the people with the lowest rates are often the least experienced. The ones who don't know what things actually cost to build properly. Or they are from countries where $5 an hour is survivable. But they are also juggling 10 other projects just to make ends meet. Because here's what most clients don't realize. Upwork takes massive fees from both sides. They charge you, the client, 5% on top of whatever you pay. So if you think you are paying $10,000, you are actually paying $10,500. But that's nothing compared to what they take from freelancers. Upwork takes 20% from freelancers. Yes, 20%. Let me tell you what this actually means. You hire someone at $20 an hour. Sound fair, right? But that freelancer isn't getting $20. They are getting $16. $4 goes straight to Upwork. And it gets worse. There's currency conversion fees. If the freelancer isn't in the US, they lose another 2 to 3% when Upwork converts the payment to their local currency. Then there are taxes. Freelancers have to pay their own taxes, which depending on where they are, can be another 15 to 30%. So that $20 an hour you are paying after Upwork's cut, currency conversion and taxes, the freelancer might be taking home $11 or $12. Now imagine someone bidding at $10 an hour. After all the fees and taxes, they are making maybe $5 or $6. And at $5 an hour, they are working for $2 to $3 after everything is deducted. You cannot get quality work from someone making $2 an hour. It's impossible. They are either cutting every corner imaginable or they are working on 5 other projects at the same time just to survive, which means you are not getting their attention or their best work. But Upwork presents this to you like you are getting a great deal. They position themselves as this premium marketplace with the best talent. They show you ratings and reviews and make it look legitimate. And all the while, they are taking 25% of every dollar they changes hands when you factor in fees from both sides. Here's the thing that really frustrates me about this system. It's not designed to create good outcomes. It's designed to extract fees from transactions. The platform wants volume. Lots of job posted, lots of proposals sent, lots of projects completed quickly so new ones can start. But quality work takes time. It takes focus. It takes developer who is not spread across 10 projects trying to make enough money to survive after Upwork takes their cut. When I was on Upwork, I knew exactly what was happening. I had bid on a project. Let's say I quoted $30 an hour. for a 3-month app build. That's reasonable for quality work. But then I'd see 15 other proposals at $10 or $5 an hour. And I'd lose the project almost every time. Because clients can't tell the difference. They see someone with 5-star reviews charging $5 an hour and think they are getting the same quality as someone charging $30. They don't understand that the person charging $5 is going to cut every corners. They are going to use template code. They are not going to test properly. They are not going to document everything. They are going to build it as fast as possible and move on to the next project because they need volume to make money. And by the time the client realizes the quality isn't there, the freelancer is gone. Here's another thing most clients don't understand. When you look at someone's Upwork profile, you see their rating 5 stars, 100% success rate, dozens of completed jobs. Looks great, right? But here's what you don't know. Upwork heavily incentivizes good reviews. Both clients and freelancers are pushed to give high ratings because bad ratings hurt both sides. So even if a client isn't completely happy, they'll often give 4 or 5 stars because they don't want to deal with the confrontation or they feel bad. And freelancers, they are terrified of bad reviews because one poor rating can tank their profile and kill their ability to get work. So you end up with grade inflation. Everyone has great reviews, even people who do mediocre work. I have seen developers with 100% success rates who I wouldn't hire to build a simple website, but their profile looks amazing. And there's no way for you as a client to know the difference between someone who is genuinely great and someone who's just good at managing their Upwork reputation. The platform creates this illusion of quality through ratings and reviews, but it doesn't actually verify skill or work quality in any meaningful way. So here's what happens over time. Good developers, the ones who really know what they are doing, they start getting frustrated. They are bidding against people charging a quarter of their rate. They are competing with proposals from developers who can survive on $5 an hour because of lower cost of living. And they realize that on Upwork, clients are optimizing for price, not quality, because that's what the platform encourages. That's how it's designed. And then there's a 20% fee eating into their earnings, on top of currency conversion, on top of taxes. A good developer doing quality work at $50 an hour is taking home maybe $30 after all the deduction. Why would they stay on Upwork when they can find direct clients and keep the full $50? So these good developers leave. They build their own client base. They go independent. They join agencies. They get out of the bidding war. And who stays? The people who can't get work anywhere else. The beginners who are just learning. The developers who are willing to work for $2 an hour after fees because they have no other option. Not all of them, but a lot of them. And this creates a slow degradation of quality on the platform. The longer Upwork exists, the more this happens. The best people leave. The average quality drops and clients don't realize it because everyone still has 5-star reviews. Here's another issue, and this one's directly caused by how the platform squeezes freelancers. When you hire someone on Upwork, especially someone charging low rates, you are not really their priority client. Let me explain what I mean. If a freelancer is making $6 an hour after Upwork's fees and everything else, they can't survive on just your project. They need to be working on 4, 5, maybe 6 projects at the same time just to make a living wage. So while they are working on your app, they are also working on 3 other apps, 2 websites, and bidding on new work constantly. You are not getting their full attention. You are getting whatever time they can spare between everything else they are juggling to survive. Now compare that to working with an agency who you are their main client. They are focused on you. They are thinking about your product when they are not coding. They are invested in your success because your success is their success. On Upwork, there's no long-term relationship. It's transactional. Build a thing, get paid, move on. And for freelancers, barely making enough after fees. They have to move fast and move on because time is literally money. When I was on Upwork, I knew exactly what corners I could cut to stay competitive on price while dealing with their 20% fee. Documentation, clients don't see that. Cut it. Automated test, they didn't know what those are. Cut it. Code comments and clean architecture, invisible to non-technical clients. Cut it. I am not proud of this, but it's the reality of how the platform works. If you want to win projects at competitive rates while Upwork is taking 20% of your earnings, you have to cut the things that clients can't see. Because if you don't, someone else will underbid you and you won't eat that month. And here's the thing. Those invisible things, they are what make the difference between a product that works for 6 months and a product that scales to thousands of users. They are what make the difference between code that's easy to modify and code that becomes a nightmare to maintain. But clients don't know to ask about them, and developers can't afford to include them when they are working for $2 an hour after fees. So you end up with the app that looks fine on the surface but are built on shaky foundations. And Upwork, they don't care. They got their 25% from both sides. They won. Here's what I saw happen over and over. A founder would hire someone on Upwork, get their app built for $5,000. Looks great, seems to work. And 6 months later, they need to add a feature. Suddenly, it's taking 3 times longer than it should. Or the original developer is gone, moved on to other projects. Or the code is such a mess that no one else wants to touch it. So they hire someone else to rebuild it from scratch, and that cost $20,000 to $30,000. They saved money upfront, but they paid way more in the long run. And the worst part, they lost time. 6 months of potential growth gone. 6 months where they could have been iterating, learning, building their user base. That's the hidden cost of cheap development. It's not just money, it's the opportunity cost. And nobody talks about this when they are comparing proposals on Upwork. They just see $5 an hour versus $30 an hour and think they are being smart by choosing the cheaper option. But they are not saving money. They are just delaying when they have to pay the real cost. Now, I don't want to make it sound like Upwork is never the right choice. There are situations where it makes sense. If you need something really small, a landing page, a simple WordPress site, some graphic design work, something where the stakes are low and you just need it done quickly and cheaply, that's fine. Upwork can work for that. Or if you need a specific skill for a short-term project, someone to help with a data migration or write some specific integration, something where you know exactly what you need and you can evaluate the work yourself. Those are good use cases. But if you are building a product, an app, something that's core to your business, something you plan to scale, that's not what Upwork is designed for. The platform is designed to facilitate transactions and extract fees, not to build long-term partnerships or quality products. And using it for something important is playing a very expensive lottery. So why did I leave Upwork? Because I realized that I couldn't do my best work within the constraints of that platform. I couldn't build things the right way and still be price competitive when I was losing 20% to fees. I couldn't form real relationships with clients when everything was transactional, and they were comparing me to people bidding a quarter of my rate. I couldn't be the kind of partner I wanted to be for founders who were building something real. So I left, and I've never regretted it. Because now I work with clients who value quality over price, who want a partner, not just a contractor, who understand that building something right takes time and cost money, but pays off in the long run. And I keep 100% of what I earn, not 80%, not 60%. After all, the fees and conversions, 100%. Look, I am not telling you never to use Upwork. I am just telling you to go in with your eyes open. Understand how the platform works. Understand that they are taking 25% of every transaction from both sides. Understand that this creates incentives for low prices and cut corners, not quality work. Understand that the freelancers bidding $5 an hour aren't bad people. They are just trapped in a system that's designed to squeeze them. And if you are building something important, something you care about, something you want to last, consider whether a race to the bottom marketplace designed to extract fees is really where you want to find your development part. If you are trying to figure out whether to hire on Upwork or go with an agency, or if you want an honest take on what makes sense for your specific project, I am happy to chat. No pressure, no pitch, just a conversation about what's right for your situation. DM me or email me and we talk it through. And if this helped you see the platform more clearly, share it with another founder who's trying to make this decision. Thanks for watching.